Well, it's a tale as old as time. Things turning out poorly because you couldn't be bothered to use a ruler. So I make sure to start off this piece with plenty of measurements and straight lines. It's tedious, but in the end, it's usually worth it. And with that, I'll welcome all my lovely viewers to Laurel and Artistry. After I get the basic ballroom sketched out, it's time for our dancing characters. They are fairly small, so I'm not too concerned with details, as long as their proportions are acceptable. And there's Belle twirling. Now, on to sketching the beast. He's got very broad shoulders and a nice tailcoat. Just gonna erase the background there, and then make our characters a bit more distinguishable with clearer and neater lines. Do some touch-ups. And give them reflections. And then I wet the area so I can get that nice flowing watercolor look. I put masking fluid on all the areas around the night sky, as well as where the stars will be. I did film this, but somehow it got lost. And now I paint it all a lovely deep blue. The annoying thing about painting with watercolor this way is how much the paint tends to lighten up from all the water that gets on your brush, meaning you quickly have to mix up more of the color to keep that bold hue. I darken things up by dabbing on color in places and letting it do its thing. I let that dry, but only a tad. Then we'll add a different shade of blue, allowing that to mix as it will. I mix together a dark violet tone, which is often used for black when painting, and add splotches to my sky. I opted to have some fun with the sky and make it quite colorful, adding in pops of a slightly brighter purple. It decided to all start pooling in one area, which was a bit annoying, but not a huge deal. It seemed to me that a salted watercolor look would be rather cool for this painting, so I sprinkled on a pinch of salt. After that dries, I darken it up some more. And wait for that to dry. Then paint the trees outside an even darker color. And I add a yellow glow around a few of the stars. Time to take off the mask and reveal my secret wait, no, not that kind of mask. I kind of blend the window line thingies into the starry sky. And I give a lighter blue outline to all the trees. Now to paint the ballroom and talk a bit about my love for this film. I would say it's gotta be my favorite animated Disney movie. Belle is an inspirational character whose strength lies in her bravery, sacrificial love, and caring nature. She breaks through the Beast's stubborn will with both compassion and a strong will of her own. The first hint of humanity you see in the Beast is when Belle offers to take the place of her father. His face and voice softens as the selfish man witnesses an act of true selflessness. And when she sees his painting on the wall, realizing a man lies behind the Beast, and then, when he saves her from the wolves, she begins to see that there's more to him than the rough creature he appeared. Now to break out the yellow for her dress. The dress is meant to be gold, something that would have made the gown in a certain live-action remake look much better. But this is probably not the time and place to rant about that. Give the Beast's coat some gold accents. Mess up my attempts to paint the jacket blue, before deciding that maybe masking off the areas I want to keep white is a good idea. Then I go over the dress with a dull yellow, which helps make it look a bit more gold. Slowly getting darker with my colors. Then I have another go at the blue coat. Now to paint all his reddish-brown fur. I break out my detail brush since the figures are quite small. They don't need to be too intricate. The whole watercolor painting is a bit loose and dreamy. I do love the very natural way the characters come together, Beast slowly letting down his guard and learning to care for another, and Belle learning how to care for him and be patient with him, uplifting him rather than being condescending, meeting him where he's at and recognizing the way he tries for her. It's a relationship that builds naturally and culminates in Beast expressing his love through freeing Belle of her promise, no longer focusing first on how to free himself, but on doing what's best for her. There's so much more I could say about the characters in the story, but I only have so much time. And now to use my little rubber thingy to get the masking fluid off. Time for all those little details that both help them blend into the painting properly and stand out from the background. Okay, now to brighten up the place by painting the candles on the wall. And get all the final little details that'll help complete the painting. Sharpening up some lines and shadows. Darken that decorative thing above the door. And I thought it would be fun to make a few of the stars shine a bit more. Add a number of tiny dots for some smaller stars. Add my final bits of paint around the characters until I'm happy with it. now it's time for a final look at my finished piece. Thank you so much for watching. It's such a joy to share all the things I love with you guys. I hope you appreciate my painting, and I'll see you again. Until then, remember, if an old lady knocks on your door offering you a rose, don't turn her down. Ciao!